Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today we are diving deep into something I know a lot of you have been asking about GIS interview prep.
That's right. We're going to give you the inside scoop on how to really impress those hiring managers and land your dream job in the exciting world of GIS.
And to make this deep dive extra special, we are going to be focusing on insights requested by Raymond Makuni.
Absolutely. Raymond is a GIS expert joining us all the way from Zimbabwe. He's not only super passionate about this field, but he's also doing some amazing research on how to make GIS more accessible for everyone.
Yeah, he's been digging deep into things like using GIS in agriculture, the whole world of GIS certifications, and even free online courses.
So, he gets it. He
Yeah.
really understands what it takes to break into this field and the skills you need to really succeed.
Okay, so for those of you who are just starting your GIS journey, can you give us like a super quick, jargon-free explanation of what GIS actually is?
Well, think of GIS as like a way to unlock hidden patterns in data and use those insights to solve real-world problems.
Okay, but can you give us a real-world example? Like, how is this actually used in practice?
Sure. So imagine you are working for a city planning department.
Hmm.
Using GIS, you could analyze things like traffic patterns, population density, even environmental factors to figure out the best spot for a new park.
That's a great example.
Or maybe you are working in agriculture. You could use GIS to map soil types, monitor crop yields, optimize irrigation systems. The possibilities are huge.
So GIS is like a superpower for seeing the world in a whole new way and making smarter decisions.
Big sacks.
No wonder it is such a hot field right now. But if you want to land that dream GIS job, you got to impress those interviewers.
Yeah.
So what are some key concepts you should be ready to discuss?
Well, they will definitely want to know you understand shapefiles. Think of them as like the DNA of digital maps. They store information about the shape, location, and attributes of geographic features, whether it's a road, a building, or a whole forest.
Okay, shapefiles like the foundation of the GIS world. Got it. What about geocoding?
Ah, geocoding. That is the magic that turns addresses and place names into coordinates on a map.
Oh, so like when I use my phone to find the nearest coffee shop.
Exactly. That is geocoding in action. It's like a translator between the human world of addresses and the digital world of maps. And
Yeah.
actually, the research Raymond sent us uses this really cool example of explaining geocoding to like a fifth grader.
Oh, I like that.
Imagine explaining it like this: geocoding is like looking up a word in a dictionary, but instead of finding the definition, you are finding the location on a map.
Now that is an analogy anyone can understand.
Mm.
So we've covered shapefiles, geocoding. What else should we be prepared to discuss?
Another crucial concept is the difference between raster and vector data. Imagine you are looking at a satellite image of a city. That is raster data. It's like a giant grid of pixels, where each pixel represents a specific value, like temperature or elevation.
Okay, I can picture that. So how is vector data different?
Vector data, on the other hand, uses points, lines, and polygons to represent geographic features with more precision. Think of it like drawing a map with a pen. You're creating specific shapes and lines to represent roads, rivers, buildings.
So raster data is like the big picture view, and then vector data kind of zooms in on the details.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
But now let's get to the good stuff.
Oh.
The actual interview questions. Raymond sent us a whole bunch, and some are definitely trickier than others.
Right. And those are really your chance to shine. You can show that you're not just memorizing definitions, but that you really understand these concepts and how to apply them in real-world situations.
Okay, here's one that I think might trip some people up. What's the difference between geocoding and georeferencing?
Mm.
They both involve coordinates, right?
Yeah, that's right. They both use coordinates. But there's a subtle but important difference. Geocoding is specifically about converting addresses or place names into coordinates on a map.
Okay.
It's like saying, okay, I want to find 123 Main Street. What are its latitude and longitude coordinates so I can put it on a map?
So geocoding is about finding the exact location of something based on its address or its name.
Yes.
What's georeferencing?
Georeferencing is more about taking an existing data set, like maybe a historical map or a scanned aerial photograph, and aligning it with a known coordinate system. So it's like you're taking a puzzle piece and fitting it into the bigger puzzle of a map.
So geocoding is like adding a new address to the map.
Mm.
And georeferencing is like making sure an old map lines up perfectly with our modern coordinate system.
Precisely. And interviewers ask this kind of question because they want to see if you really grasp the nuances of these concepts and how they're used in different situations.
Makes sense? Okay, you ready for another one? How does GPS support GIS?
Oh, that's a great question. This one really tests your understanding of how all these different technologies work together. So think about GPS, or the Global Positioning System. It uses satellites to figure out exactly where you are on Earth.
Right. My phone, my car's navigation system, they all rely on GPS to tell me where I am.
Exactly. And that location data that GPS collects can then be fed into a GIS.
Oh, I see.
So let's say you are tracking the movement of wildlife using GPS collars. You can then take all of that GPS data and visualize it on a map in your GIS, analyze the animal's movement patterns, and use that information to make decisions about conservation strategies, for example.
So GPS gives you the raw location data, and GIS helps you make sense of it all.
Yes, GIS takes that raw GPS data and makes it into something useful and meaningful.
Cool. Okay, last challenge for you. What skills do you think are most valuable for a GIS specialist? That seems pretty open-ended.
This is where you really get to show what you know about this field. Of course, you got to have those technical skills. You need to know how to use the software, understand all the different data formats, and be comfortable with spatial analysis techniques.
Right. But Raymond's research really emphasizes that those soft skills are super important too. Things like communication, problem solving, and teamwork.
Absolutely. GIS isn't just about crunching numbers and making maps. It's about using those tools to solve real problems and being able to talk about your findings in a way that other people can understand. You might be working with scientists, engineers, or policymakers, so being able to explain complex stuff clearly and simply is super important.
Like that quote from the research, patience is important because it takes time to acquire and review the data before building the map.
Exactly. You need that patience and attention to detail. And you also got to be able to see the big picture and connect the dots between all those different pieces of information.
So it's really about combining those technical skills with good communication and problem-solving skills to make a real difference.
And that's what interviewers are looking for. They want someone who's excited about GIS, someone who wants to keep learning and is ready to tackle those tough challenges with both their technical expertise and their ability to work well with others.
So there you have it. You are now officially armed with some serious GIS knowledge.
And remember, GIS is all about using the power of location to understand our world better and solve all kinds of problems.
As you're getting ready for that interview, think about what you bring to the table. What are you really passionate about?
Yeah. What problems do you want to solve? How can you use GIS to make a real difference?
Show those interviewers your excitement, your willingness to learn, and your ability to think spatially.
And don't forget those soft skills: communication, collaboration, problem solving. They're all super important in any GIS job.
So go out there, rock that interview, and land that dream GIS job.
And if you want even more GIS inspiration, definitely check out some of the resources that Raymond's been working on. His research on GIS and agriculture, GIS certifications, free online courses. That's a great place to start.
We'll put links to all of that in the show notes. And if you like this deep dive into GIS, hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment.
Yeah, we love hearing from you. Tell us what you think. And give us some ideas for future episodes.
Maybe we'll even do another GIS deep dive and actually explore some of those free online courses that Raymond mentioned.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
So many possibilities. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible with GIS.